Greetings and salutations, good friends, and welcome to Blades in Paradise. My name is Dr. Winston Thoreau, and I will be your guide to the perils and pleasures of our paradise amidst the post-apocalyptic Pacific Northwest. Now, we'll get to the chicanery and shenanigans momentarily, but before we do, allow me to deliver some news. Blades in Paradise is an actual play podcast run in John Harper's Blades in the Dark. We are proud to have been selected for the Evil Hat Games Creator Program. Bard Rock Network is sponsored by Dragon Master Games. Visit DragonMasterGames.com for all your CCG, TCG, TTRPG, and miniature game needs. If you enjoy the stories we tell, you can tip us on Ko-fi or visit us at patreon.com/bardrockcafe. By sponsoring the network, you not only help us provide an ever-expanding library of shows, but gain access to bonus content, the network Discord, exclusive booster game nights, and roles on our booster bonus table. Now, without further delay, allow me to introduce you to my cohorts Lizzie, Sterling, and Max, the crew of ESPN. Enjoy.
Blades in Paradise is a dystopian story intended for adults. These stories intentionally address challenging topics that might not be suitable for all ears. This campaign includes content warnings for gun violence, child endangerment, animal cruelty, unintentional misgendering of a non-binary person, substance use, and graphic descriptions of injuries, including the eyes. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back to Blades in Paradise, the only podcast where justice is served with a side of french fries. Hi everyone, I'm Jim, he, him. Normally I play Dr. Winston Thoreau, also he, him. But tonight I will be your temporary Blades Daddy, otherwise known as your adopted Blades Daddy. Because our good friend Paul is currently suffering from a combination of bronchitis and laryngitis and is unable to join us this evening. So everyone take your 40 and pour one out for Paul, or whatever you happen to be imbibing this evening, be it water or seltzer or Coca-Cola, if you will, because we will miss him very much. But before we get going, I'd like to introduce our players. So starting in Discord order, why don't you please introduce your character and give me a fun fact about you?
All right, I guess I will kick it off. My name is Justin, I'm a he/him, and I play Maximilian Graves, otherwise known as the Cantankerous Old Codger. Actually, his real name is Joseph Dunman, something that was touched on earlier. But, fun fact about him is he actually had a quiet life when he was very young. Growing up in the 1980s, he got to go to Blockbuster, eat at Taco Bell, and all that good stuff. And now, if he could remember it, he would just be a terrible shell of a man.
Now, did Joseph manage to return all of his VHSs before?
Oh, no.
He was,
And did he remember to be kind and rewind when he did return them?
Oh, hell no. See, little do you guys know that later on in the series, ESPN will be tracked down by the Blockbuster headbusters. They're the ones that track down all the people that still owe for late fees.
Making a note here. All right, there we go.
There we go. The Blockbusters.
Hi, I'm Queenie, she, her, and I play Lizzie Calhoun, which...
Not spelled how you would think.
Yeah, I was about to say, I will be nice and spell it out for the audience. It is Colquhoun. That is the old Scottish way of spelling it.
For those of you who have never heard of a silent Q before.
Mom, Dad, I'm Gaelic.
It's like the appendectomy. It's like the appendix of letters in that word.
Yeah. But fun fact about her is that Shadow somehow keeps getting out of her apartment and running to town. Maybe we'll find out one day how and why.
Shadow the Edge Dog.
He's a blink dog and nobody told her.
You must have watched Secret Life of Pets lately.
No, I had just dealt with my own dog.
Hi, I'm Riley. That day, I play Sterling, the brash and scrappy scoundrel. Also, mostly they. OutbackTeamBuilding.com asked the question, if you could turn your belly button into a real button that you could push once a day and it would do whatever you wanted, what would you make it do? Sterling's would make them invincible for 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 60 seconds.
I almost just spit water all over my computer when you said that.
I'm in pain.
Thank you. That's all the reactions I wanted.
I like to think that Sterling has been working with Greta, the HR person, to develop a team-building exercise, and that's why Sterling has access to this information.
Also, that is such a dad joke, Riley. Sorry, but it is.
It is. I really waffled about it. Like, would Sterling give themselves a second of weakness? No, fuck no.
Does that mean it's my turn?
Oh, Janie, it is your turn.
Hi, I'm Janie, and I am playing J.G. Wentworth, the attorney today. And I would like to tell you that J.G. used to be an opera singer. She would sit on on the bus going to work, and she would just sing her advertisement, which was called J.G. Wentworth, and the rest of the phone number. Yeah, nobody knows what the rest of the number is, right?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I can't help but hear it every time you say your name.
And she was an opera singer, so she would sit on the bus and sing her jingle.
And nobody sought to sue JG? No civil litigation?
They tried. She kept winning.
No, because JG's original lawyering was about helping people get money that was owed to them, structured settlements. So if you had a structured settlement,
Let's see. Yes.
you would call.
877 cash now.
You had to say it.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad she did, because it has to be a regional thing, because in my head, I'm like going through, I'm like 856 sheds, no, 854 giant, no. Like, I couldn't get the actual jingle in my brain.
Suddenly, it had lost in my brain. I had to Google it.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Would you like me to sing it for you?
No.
And there was a commercial for it where there was an opera singer on a bus that kept singing it.
Yeah, I know the scene you're talking about.
Based how unhappy you were
Not sponsored by JG Wentworth.
with your marketing department last week, I can only imagine that jingles don't have the same effect, or maybe just 800 numbers have been abolished because they have to be 900 numbers and have to be charged in this day and age. And speaking of, last time we all sat down together, everyone went back and retired for the night, but not before sharing stories about their beloved Benny Franks. During that time, we learned exactly when and how Max burned down the orphanage that Winston had previously lived at, and we learned a lot about everyone's first day on the job at ESPN. Everyone is at their own individual establishments, their own individual places of rest. It is morning in paradise. It is a beautiful, balmy 68 degrees outside. The sun is rising up over the mountains. And I want to know, what are your morning routines like? How do you go about beginning your day? You don't have to meet outside the courthouse where you agreed to meet for a few hours, so to begin the day, you each have a little bit of time to yourselves. What are you guys doing?
Lizzie's probably fixing breakfast. Bacon and eggs, toast.
That's very reasonable. 45-minute workout.
Is Sterling doing 7-minute abs, 8-minute abs, arms, legs? What's today's choice?
Sterling mostly alternates between arms and abs.
Sterling always skips leg day.
Well, that just happens naturally because of all the grinding.
Yeah, when you have rocket boots, who needs to do legs? Sterling, you hear a quick on the front door of the ESPN headquarters. You know it's a couple hours before open, that no one, employee or not, should be there. And anyone who would be there would have a key. Be it Winston, be it Lizzie. Maximo certainly does not have a key, but the rest of them would. What do you do?
I'm going to check the window.
Out the window, you see a person of nondescript height in a long black coat running off into the distance.
I cautiously open the door.
Attached to the door, held on with a piece of duct tape, is a Beanie Baby with a note safety pin to it. And on the note it reads, Sterling.
I take it.
Okay. Are there any secret jokes that you and Mercy have that would hold some sort of meaning or semblance if she was to leave you a gift?
Ooh, for sure. You know when someone asks you your favorite song and suddenly you've never heard a song before? Suddenly there are no animals.
Is it a platypus?
That's amazing that you knew that, Justin.
Because platypi are not real.
Yes, and...
Mammals don't lay eggs. What are you talking about? A beaver with a duckbill? Come on.
Yeah. Mercy and I were playing this drawing game, and we accidentally invented this weird creature, and then she went and found it in a book later, and we thought that was really silly.
So it is a purple and lime green platypus with a very intricately stitched tail and a note that is pinned to it. The note, when you open it up, says, "Good luck today. Whatever happens, know I'm here for you."
I hug both the platypus and the note. And then I'll put the note in a pocket and the platypus into the bandolier while I think of a name.
JG, you similarly hear a knock on your door outside of your house. It is much more pronounced. It's more of like a thud 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 than like a pleasant knock.
Okay, but see, I'm in the middle of my morning routine, which has the equivalent of subscribers. So this person's not subscribing to my morning routine. They're not paying me to answer the door. So I'm not going to answer it until I finish with making my breakfast drink that's sponsored by 17 different sponsors as I go over each ingredient.
Are you filming this get ready with me in the morning before you head off to court?
Yes, I am.
Okay, do your employers, are they, do you have to give a caution at the beginning? Listen, these opinions are just mine, and they're not mine of my employers. It's just of J.G. Wentworth, not of Johnson & Johnson and the corporation ahead of me.
Yeah, I read it really quickly at the beginning of every one of them.
Okay.
In like a monotone.
Suddenly, you get a tip that says, "Check the door."
Goodness. Okay, subscribers, I'll just be a minute. You will not be charged for this. You'll get 2 free minutes after this. And then I'll run to the door, so I don't have to give any more of my time away for free.
You open the door, and there is a brilliant bouquet of roses on the steps, and a 4-piece, not orchestra, but a 4-piece a cappella group singing Goodbye My Coney Island Gal to you at the top of their lungs. They're harmonizing and hitting all the major points. Goodbye my Coney Island, goodbye my Coney Island, goodbye my Coney Island gal.
Thank you. Who are the roses from?
I believe there's a card on the flowers, miss. You can check it out. By the way, it is customary to tip. And he just holds out his straw hat in front of you.
Right. And JG will tip them a standard amount and look at the card.
The card just says, "Good luck today, N."
After closing the door, she'll just put the card and the flowers aside and go back so she doesn't lose any business.
Max, what are you doing this morning?
First off, I rise. Like someone has put a board underneath me and has lifted my whole body up, Nosferatu style. I hunger, I smell the things that I must consume. The bacon, yes, the succulent bacon. The over-salted eggs, oh my, yes. I hope they're hard-boiled so I can peel them slowly while maintaining eye contact with Lizzie the whole time.
Are you in my house?
No, well, I go where I want to.
This happens once a week, I assume. Yeah.
Shadow is surprisingly comfortable to snooze on.
Shadow leaves every night and gets Max and brings him home.
Yeah, that's what he's doing, sneaking out, brings Max home.
Oh, that's why I'm always moist. Okay. Yes, for the listeners, I said, in an old man voice, moist.
which is one of the most disconcerting words in the entire English language.
Indeed.
Max, you emerge from Shadow's kennel to find that Lizzie has prepared more than enough food for the two of you. She has prepared enough food for probably half the town of Tightwad, were they to pop over at any point in time. As I'm assuming most people in Tightwad do, Lizzie probably has an open door policy, where anyone who needs to come by and have something to eat can come over at any point in time. And it's just nice that you have that opportunity to take that.
Yes. Good morrow, fair Lizzie. How goes it today, and why am I dressed so, dapperly? I don't know, these clothes are tight-fitting and way too nice for my taste.
'Cause you went on a date with your ex.
Oh, did I?
Max kind of licks his palm and slicks the top of his head, even though he has no hair.
Who was the lucky lady?
Samantha Sung
Oh, I'm afraid I don't know her.
from Procter and Gamble.
Not ringing a bell, per se. But if it's one of my exes, I mean, I've had, how many wives? How many girlfriends?
I think I also heard you call her Rebecca at one point.
Just Max's face goes slack, like he's having a stroke.
Are you okay?
I'm sorry. Who? What? Who?
I think you called her Rebecca at one point.
I used to know. Lizzie, I'm going to skip breakfast. Thank you. When you are able to locate Shadow, because Shadow comes and goes like the wind, give him a pat and tell him he's a good boy for me, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Sure you don't want to take some bacon at least? For, like, pocket bacon?
Yeah, I just grab a fistful of bacon and walk out the door.
I wonder if I should tell the guys and Sterling.
Flash forward about 2.5 hours, we'll say. We'll call it, 10:30, 11:15, just about the time when people are getting hungry for a mid-morning snack. Their coffee's finally kicked in. They're feeling jazzed and ready to go for their day. And we emerge at the Paradise City Courthouse. As a institutional building, the Paradise City Courthouse is one of the nicest buildings in the district, with long spiraling columns. Most of the building is made of fine marble. It appears to be held over and reconstructed from the before times. There are pieces that are very clearly older than even Max, and there are pieces that are very clearly newly added that have just been mined. The colors are somewhat mishmashed together, but it presents a nice stark contrast. The courthouse itself is overflowing with activity. There is a large party of people in fine dress attire up at the top of the courthouse stairs. There is a large gaggle of reporters down in the lower right, all smoking cigarettes and looking at their pads, getting ready and prepared to interview whoever of import may emerge from the building. And last but not least, there are detectives and investigators all over the place, each one making sure that no funny business is going up. I mean, as this is Paradise, you can be assured that there are at least 2 times as many cops as there need to be in any given location at any point in time. You all find the designated meeting place, somewhat near the bottom of the steps, but not too close that you're going to cause or arouse any suspicion. It's 10:30, you're supposed to be there, and the good doctor is nowhere to be seen. 10:35 goes on, the good doctor is nowhere to be seen. Pretty soon you're going to need to head inside. What do y'all do?
I asked if anybody had seen the doc at all.
I haven't seen him since last night. Max?
Yes?
Do you know where the dock is?
It was a long time ago. She...
Okay. JG?
I don't believe I was billed for any of those hours for that.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I guess at least we need to go in for court.
Alright.
Before you can make any move towards the building, a scrawny, lanky, about 6'3", very disheveled person wearing what appears to be a suit that was made from burlap sacks comes sprinting by and bumps right into the middle of you. His papers go flying up in the air and shatter and spread out into the air and cascade down around you like oh so many snowflakes. Oh, man. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hey, wait a minute, Lizzie, is that you?
Yeah? Who are you?
Lizzie, it's me, Silly Ray Byrus.
Oh, jeez.
I'm the town attorney.
I hate you so much.
I can't take credit for that. I originally was going to go with Brooks Garth, and then Paul gave me that, and I'm like, I have to use it, and it works perfectly for, yeah.
I agree with Max.
I help pick up the papers and pledge allegiance to this man.
Silly Ray, what are you doing here?
Oh, man. Lizzie, I got court today. There's been all sorts of problems down in town since y'all left. Y'all haven't heard anything?
No. What's going on?
There's some kids that have gone missing, some young girls. I don't know. I'm trying to file some paperwork to make sure that we can get all the proper police records in place, and also they've been sending police officers downtown from Paradise to come talk to us about here and there, and Red came up. Red Bull.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came up here to get some parts for us, and they damn near arrested him.
I look over at Sterling and Max, and I'm like, well, we get this done, guess where we're headed?
I don't know what seems to be going on here. It's almost like someone took a bunch of crazy pills, put them in our water, and let me tell you, that wouldn't be the first time that's happened down at Tightwad. But things have gone absolutely out of control, and I'm the only one who's, one of those licensed attorneys who can fix things up here.
I'm sorry, did you say there were young girls missing?
Yeah, there's one girl, Trisha Woodyear, and there's another one whose name is Carrie Woodunder. They've both gone missing over the past 2-3 weeks. Every once in a while, we have a young kid who runs off from Tightwad, thinks they can make something of themselves in the big city, and they, more often than not, except for Lizzie right here, always come running back with their tails in between their legs. But no one has seen hide nor hair of these two.
Where's Swift Taylor and Victor?
Been out looking in the woods for people. They've been doing patrols. They've been, taking people down into the woods. They've been looking up at the train accident site, but nothing. No sign of any foul play. No sign of any disappearance. It's like they just poofed into thin air.
Lizzie, once we're done with this court proceeding, I think we should probably go to Tightwad and take a look at this.
I agree. As soon as today's over, I'll see about calling Mom and Paul and finding out as much information as I can.
Anyway, thank you for helping me get my papers together. I gotta run, otherwise the judge is gonna be very, very cross with me. And he sprints up the stairs and inside.
Speaking of being very cross with him, would there have been a moment where Max might have snatched one of those papers?
Sure, give me a prowl.
Ooh, I'm good at that. Got a 5.
With a 5, you managed to get one entire case file. I'm going to let you tell me which case file you would like.
Do I get a choice, or can I just make it up?
No, well, okay, I gave you a couple. So you can have a case file for one of the young girls who have gone missing. You can have Red Bull's case file, or you can have the case file about the police who are going down to Tightwad to take a look at something.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna choose the one with the missing girls.
So you manage to slip some of the papers behind you as Silly Ray is pulling his paperwork together. What you find is somewhat what I think you are expecting. The girls left Tightwad together on the train to come up to Paradise. They left also with a third person whose name is redacted in this police report. Come to find out, that third person ended up making their way back to town, said the two girls wanted to stay over for the night. After a couple days went by, their parents reported them missing. The parents called it to the police. They tried to get as much information as they possibly could, but for whatever reason, the police were refusing to release some of the files, claiming that it was an open investigation. And so Silly Ray has come up here to try and get those files released so they can learn more about what might have happened to their daughters. There is another attorney from the firm of Johnson & Johnson's name who is on there. And that is the owner, one of the owners. His name is Nathaniel Johnson. He's listed as one of the attorneys. Yes, go for it.
JG, just give this guy her business card and say if you need a real attorney, call JG Wentworth.
You can try to sell your attorney services to this attorney, most certainly. Give me a sway roll.
Okay.
So call it 2 die. Give me 2d6 and take the higher. Unless you would like to push yourself.
Why not push myself? If you want to do anything in life, you take a chance.
You need referral business. What can I say? Referral business is a lot of the attorney's caseload.
This is definitely the time and place to push yourself.
6 and a 3.
Silly Ray takes your business card and he says, "You know what? I might be in over my head on this. I'll be sure to give you a call later today once I'm finished with my hearing. But I really gotta go." And he hands you his business card, which is scratched on the back of a cocktail napkin. It says, Silly Ray Byrus, attorney at laws, ?
You're going to say that JG's was the complete opposite. It's made of something other than paper. It's engraved and...
It's got heft to it. There's weight and heft to your business card. Meanwhile, his business card, his phone number says Tightwad. His address says Tightwad. His email address says, "Just ask around for me." Max, as you look up from the paperwork that you're reading, you notice that the large collection of finely dressed people at the top of the stairs are starting to make their way down. People are throwing rice, and people are throwing flowers, and people are popping those little, they're not champagne, they're little almost explosives, those little popper things that just go to celebrate, that simulate the sound of a champagne cork, which I have no idea what they're called, but I should, but that's neither here nor there.
Poppers.
Yeah, that's probably what they should be called. Poppers. What is it, Murphy's Law? The simplest explanation is always the correct one. Is that Murphy's Law?
No.
I think that's Occam's razor.
Oh, that is Occam's. Okay. As you see the blushing bride and the handsome groom coming down the stairs, you realize that you recognize the bride. It's your ex-wife, Layla.
Layla.
Max? Max, what? Max, what are you doing here?
Oh, I'm here for a court case. Surprisingly, I'm not the one in trouble this time. What are you doing here?
I just got married at the courthouse. Max, this is my husband, and she points over to him and she says, This is Nicholas. Oh my gosh, I can't believe Nick, this is my ex-husband, Max. He's the one I told you about. Oh, is this...
Yes, the story is about us, but I'm so proud of you, Layla. It's never too late for a happy ending.
You look over at Nicholas, and he's not what you would expect of him. He has kind of a long beard. He has very plain clothes, and he has a long, wide-brimmed black hat on the top of his head. He's Amish. Thanks, Max. You're proud of me? Nicholas kind of puts his body in front of Layla, and he says that thank you for your kind blessings, but I'm afraid we need to make ourselves off to our reception.
Oh yes, that's fine. Yeah, I'm sure. Happily, go on. Spend most of your lives living in your Amish paradise. Does my heart so good to see Rebecca going off and being happy. We'll have a happy life.
Rebecca? You said Rebecca. I thought that was Layla.
Of course that was Layla. Why would you say Rebecca?
Because you did.
Oh, pish posh, I would never. I don't know, Oh dear. I need to find the doctor.
The client clearly said that. He never said that, so he didn't say that.
Sterling Ackred, as I live and breathe. What brings my good friend back to the courthouse already?
Sterling, you spin on a dime, and who do you find behind you but Grace and her partner, Will?
Fuck. That's my response.
Oh, you can't even say good morning to me? You know, I guess I probably should have expected to see you here. I mean, we're both going to the same spot to watch your boss go down in flames, right? Just like the blimp did.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you don't?
You know nothing about what happened. Will, doesn't that sound strange to you? Yeah, it sounds really strange to me. Who are you?
I am J.G. Whitworth, attorney at law. And what business do you have with my clients?
We're licensed inspectors for the town of Paradise.
Yeah, I'm the head inspector in this case, okay? And this is an A and B conversation, so you can see your way out of it.
I need to have a conversation with my clients, please. They are being billed right now by this moment.
That's okay.
Shortly. How about we schedule a meeting in?
You know what? That's okay. We have some things to do. We're now working on another open investigation. Sterling, I bet you didn't know that someone raided Orange Julius's place last night. You know, took down all of his goons in one fell swoop. It was a bloodbath. It was a massacre. We're gonna have to find out who did that.
You're not even a real inspectigator.
If you'd like to schedule something, Inspector.
Will steps up to you and goes, I don't think we need to schedule anything around here. I think the only thing we need to schedule is you leaving us alone. And that they high five and they chest bump and they both are like, burn, sick burn. Even though it was very obviously.
JT is gonna give them kind of that stare that, really popular people can give people.
As you make that motion with your eyes, it sounds like a whip crack. And they both, recoil in, actual physical, they're feeling physical pain.
Oh, snap. Even though I'm having an existential crisis that none of you know about, that even got me out of my stupor.
Amazing Grace and William Sonoma take a step back, and Grace looks at you and says, you know what?
We'll see you inside. By the way, nice duck call around your neck, Sterling.
And they head up the stairs and into the courtroom.
I tuck it into my shirt under, I'd like to add a detail that I forgot from my morning ritual. Before the workout,
Sure.
I put my suit back on, the one with the torn off sleeves.
Yes.
So it's sweaty, but it looks good.
So are you all ready? I see we were interrupted.
I'm ready.
We're not waiting on the good doctor?
Does anyone have another way to contact the doctor?
Usually here, boy, here. But, he's too far away, I fear.
Look, he'll be here.
I agree with Sterling.
All right. When you are ready, JG.
I woke up ready after my sponsored morning routine, that is.
Enjoy what you're hearing? Rate us on your favorite podcatcher. Reviews on platforms like Apple, Spotify, or Good Pods help new listeners find our content. It's a completely free way to support the show. Thanks for listening.
Christina, I'm all caught up in my favorite actual play podcasts. What should I do?
All of them? Even my podcast, Agents of Damned?
That's right. Your show's excellent, but I'm up to date on that one too. I'm not sure what to check out next.
Yeah, I know. There's just so many excellent actual play productions out there, it can be overwhelming to choose one.
Not to worry, friends. I can make some recommendations.
Oh my gosh, it's multi-talented TTRPG actual play performer and professional musician Marty Balmer.
That's right. Just check out my new podcast, College of Whispers. We're the actual play book club that can help you find your new favorite production. Join me and my co-host Vicky every month as we review and analyze different productions in a spoiler-light format that's both entertaining and informative.
Wow, that sounds great. You don't just look at the big name productions, right?
Yeah, I feel like whenever I ask for podcast recommendations, the same handful of super popular mainstream shows is all I get suggestions for.
Not to fear, on College of Whispers, we look at a mix of big names and indie productions, so the scrappy up-and-coming shows can get their moment in the sun as well.
Well, I'm sold. I'm gonna go download College Whispers on my favorite podcatcher right now. Thanks, Marty.
Wait, Paul, we're part of the Bard Rock Network now. How is any of this news to you?
Give them a listen, everybody.
Cut to inside the courthouse. You're at the end of a long hallway, and you all are standing in like 4 people across, so that it is very inconvenient for anyone to walk past you. But in the background, you hear like the music from the People's Court. It's like dun 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 dun. As you're walking down the hall in slow motion, there's like wind effects blowing your hair back to look all cool as you arrive, and you get to courtroom number 12 where you're supposed to be for your hearing, and the judge is running a little bit late, so everyone is now standing outside, and it's kind of awkward because you just walked up with this big momentous presence, and all of your momentum has been suddenly lurched as you're all standing in a rather cramped hallway.
Can I stand with my arms crossed like they do in the Law and Order promo?
Of course.
Quick, everyone, power poses.
Yeah, let's see here. I would like you, for that, to give me a command roll.
I got a 6 and a 2.
You have commanded the attention, of everyone in the area. All of a sudden, everyone that you're walking by does that thing where they do the slow head turn and follow you as you walk down the hallway. And everyone who's standing by the door waiting for the courtroom to come has all locked eyes and attention on you. You have become the center of everyone's attention and the center of everyone's world in this moment.
I'm wearing my branded suit and all of the makeup brands that have sponsored me, so this is perfect.
So does your suit have like patches on it, almost like you are a NASCAR driver?
You know what? Yes.
Okay, perfect. I love that. Considering especially that you have never lost a case, people would want to sponsor you and want to sponsor your success. I love that. 2 of the people whose attention that you have drawn are the head partners of the law firm, John Johnson and Nathaniel Johnson. They walk up to you and take a look at you and say, JG, it's very nice to see you here. I trust that you will do the right thing once we get into the courthouse today.
When? And yes.
And the smaller of the 2 John Johnson, the older one, with drooping skin and real thick, heavy black bags under his eyes, as if he's had all of the moisture sucked from the skin on his face. JG, I didn't recall him hearing him say that you were going to win.
Yeah.
I heard him say that you were going to do the right thing.
That is the right thing. And I could recommend a moisturizer for you.
Oh, I would love that.
Yes, I got this deal right here. Let me rummage in my bag for a moment. And here you go. Here's a sample. And here is my code.
Oh, these are free samples?
For you? Yes.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. And
The first one is always free.
I'm sorry. You are?
Angry mostly.
Is this the client? JG?
Yes.
I don't remember them making them like this anymore. He reaches up, he pulls open your lips and takes.
Hey, back off!
Like you're a horse, and he's like, "How?
I have teeth.
How old is this one?"
That information is available for a $19.99 subscription to JG Wentworth's Secrets.
I shoved the one that's manhandling Max.
You're gonna shove an old man in a courthouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jim. I am.
Okay. Give me a skirmish roll, I guess.
All right.
Or a command roll if you're trying to just intimidate.
I have better stats in skirmish, but command feels more appropriate, so let's see how this goes.
I'll take a stress to help by standing behind you with my arms crossed. Intimidating.
That's a 5.
You manage to just place your hand gently on the old man's chest, and he takes a step backwards under just the bare weight of your palm presence. He goes, I was just checking out my clients to make this. They're my clients as well, when they're someone of my, they're with one of my attorneys.
Oh, it's quite all right, Sterling. Stand down, and Lizzie, you stop with the H&R Puffin stuff there. You can uncross your arms. It was a simple question now to answer your question, though. I don't.
Must not have read the client agreement to you. I'm allowed to check your haunches if I'd like to.
Oh, yes, by all means. See, to answer your question, I'm not exactly certain of how old I am. I've kind of lost track, if you know what I mean. But I do know one surefire way, and that is to check the rings around my undercarriage, if you were. So why don't you go there, and if you don't mind.
And as I start to unfasten my front of my pants.
The courtroom doors spring open, inviting everybody inside.
It's not supposed to be a free show.
Well, it looks like we don't have time for this right now, so how about we just get to court?
Everyone files into the courtroom and taking their seats in the benches that align the back of the room. JG, I'm assuming you take your spot up in the front where the attorneys sit, and I'd like to know where the rest of you go.
Bench right behind her.
I'm going to attempt to sit with JG. I don't know if anyone's going to stop me.
Not in the slightest. Right now, there's a bailiff at the front of the room, and Judge Morgan is nowhere to be found.
JG's taking her time sitting down. It looks like, one of those movies with the light and the air floating everywhere.
They watch in a courtroom.
And Lizzie just drags Max with her.
Oh, wait. My leg is out of my pants, Lizzie. Ah!
Get him in a chair before we have another lawsuit on our hands.
From your positions, you can see Sherman Williams enter the courtroom with none other than Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble separate from him after patting him on the shoulder and take a seat over in the front right corner of the courtroom, right behind where the prosecution is going to be presenting their case. John Proctor looks completely normal, as you've seen him every other time. He's completely well-kempt and put together. Gamble, on the other hand, looks like he has been through hell, as if he had been on a 2-week bender, and those 2 weeks took the entirety of the last 6 hours. His hair is matted against the side of his head, his suit is stained and unkempt, and he has what appears to be a little bit of dried saliva on the side of his face. JG's partners, Johnson & Johnson, approach Procter & Gamble, and they shake hands, and very calmly, very matter-of-factly, and then they take their seats next to Procter & Gamble.
All right, where's the referee of this fight?
All rise!
Already there, buddy.
Judge J.P. Morgan has entered the courtroom. He is a monstrous, imposing figure, standing almost as tall as Victor Lord and nearly as wide. He is wearing his thick black robes and has a thick black beard, which is as dark as the robes that he is wearing. He takes a seat atop the bench, which is about, let's call it 2 feet up above from where everyone is standing on the floor, and bangs his gavel with a mighty thud, thud, thud. Court is now in session. Presiding, Judge J.P. Morgan. Morgan takes his seat and... Now, I've taken the time last night to refer to both of your memorandums, and while Mr. Williams, your memorandum was quite convincing and quite evidentiary and quite up to snuff, Miss Wentworth, I'm going to say I typically expect to see more out of you than what I saw in that paperwork. I'm gonna have to see the evidence that's presented before me today, but based off of solely what I read, I'm not liking your chances for today.
JG is going to ruffle through her things, and since she's never lost a case, I'm assuming she does have a better prepared file.
Without question.
And she will ask for permission to approach to hand over the paperwork.
You may approach.
And she will take a walk down the runway. I mean, not the runway, down to the courtroom.
That is your runway. You go with it.
Down the runway to the referee.
You can call it a runway.
Heel toe, heel toe, heel toe.
Yeah, take a walk down the runway.
You have an amended motion to file?
I do, Your Honor.
Leave it with the clerk, and I'll take a look through. But first, we're here for oral hearings today.
Already tried that. They wouldn't go for it.
Please, Mr. Williams, present your evidence. Sherman Williams stands up and says, "The people wanted to submit the footage from the blimp crash. However, as I informed your office this morning, the footage from the blimp crash was destroyed in an electrical incident at the police station last night." All over the courtroom, you hear murmurs.
Harumph.
What do you mean it was destroyed last night? There was an electrical surcharge, and it destroyed every piece of electronic equipment in the evidentiary room. The people will be relying solely upon the confession of one Benjamin Franks, written in his own hand, given by him at his own volition, and quite frankly is what we're concerned to be ironclad evidence that he did in fact commit the crimes before the court. The people rest. And he goes back to his desk and he sits down.
Does he have the paper confession with him?
He does. It is currently sitting sitting on the table next to him.
Noted. Thank you.
Sterling, I'm looking at the back of your head, and I know that look in your eye.
Somehow, from behind me, Max can tell I'm smirking.
You work with someone long enough, you know.
You smell fish in the break room. You know exactly who it is who microwaved that fish.
And how poisoned it was.
Tony.
Upon hearing the news that the black box had been destroyed in the electrical incident the night before, Proctor gets up and leaves the courtroom. He doesn't make a big scene of it. He sneaks out the back, but he gets up and he leaves the courtroom.
Do I see that?
Yeah, you see it. I'm not even going to ask for a roll on that.
Can I try and stealth out also? Following him?
Give me a prowl roll.
4.
On a 4, you think that you made it out without anyone clocking you.
I just follow him, see where he's going.
Okay. Miss Wentworth, since it seems that the state only has the people only have a pittance of evidence to present, it's up to you now. What would you like to present for your client?
I would like to present that my client's so-called confession was coerced. It was something that was not a true statement, so it cannot be admitted in court.
What evidence do you have of this coercion?
Well, I have compiled several documents showing that my client wants to do what's best for business, and what's best for business is a speedy resolution. But I and my client personally believe that it's also best for business if the proper person who is responsible is made to be responsible for the extreme loss that was suffered. We can't allow for this injustice. We have to have the proper person pay for this. Because if they don't pay for it, they will just do it again, and we will be swindled out of even more money. Now, this person has a long history of business, of wanting what's best for business. And she's going to go over a lot of documents like that.
So while you start pulling documents out of your satchel and reviewing them in front of the court, you're putting things up on easels. I'm assuming you either have a laser pointer or one of those long telescoping metal pointers and are whacking it on to present to the judge. We'll cut over to Lizzie. Lizzie, from a safe distance, you are following John Proctor as he heads down the hallway. He seems fairly nervous, I think is the right way to say. More nervous than you have seen him in the past. Thinking that he has no eyes on him, he's kind of looking around corners and checking to make sure that no one is seeing what it is that he's doing. It's as if he is not sure of the choice that he's about to make. He's heading right towards the judge's quarters right now.
Keep following him, see what he's up to.
Give me another prowl roll.
He clocks me, I rolled a 2.
So on a 2, you realize that you're suddenly standing in an empty hallway in a dark part of the courthouse. There are no attorneys around. There are no clients around. There are no police around. You're trying so hard to be sneaky that you don't realize that you take the corner a little bit too tightly and you kick the bench on the side of the wall, creating a loud, resonant echo throughout the room. John Proctor turns and looks at you with malice in his eyes. I'm sorry. Can I help you?
I'm just wondering why you snuck out of the court.
A man can't head to the restroom to relieve himself without being followed?
Not when the restroom is in the judge's quarters.
And what business is it of yours, little girl?
I'm not that little.
Listen, I don't know who you think you are, but I believe you know who I am.
I know who you are, and I'm Benny's friend.
Benny has no friend.
Benny's got lots of friends.
I'm going to give you one chance to turn around and head back to the courtroom and forget you ever saw me here, or else.
I don't think so. And I shoot him with my gun.
Whoo!
Oh my gosh.
And you guys always think I'm gonna stab somebody in the neck? That happened one time.
To be fair, it happened in like the second episode, so it was shocking when it did.
Lizzie is now reckless. She does have that trauma from the
juice.
Box.
Juice. Yeah.
Okay. You're firing a gun in a courthouse at John Proctor. Okay. Paul's gonna kill me. Wow. I take over for one night, completely derail the whole thing.
Yeah, this is somehow your fault, Jim.
I'm doing the laser gun that's in my
It's my
hand.
fault. It's always my fault. Yeah, go ahead and give me a hunt roll.
Is this where they get the saying dog will hunt?
I got 2 4s and a 6.
Okay. There's a moment of silence as the two of you stare at each other. And you hear over the in-house radio broadcast.
Noted, businessman Julius Orange has gone missing and is presumed dead. No one has seen him, but his...
And then as the radio starts coming on, it gives you just enough of a cover to flip your gun out of the holster and fire.
No, I'm doing the laser gun out of my hand.
Which laser gun? Oh, that's right, the Mega
My
Man
mechanical
cannon.
hand.
I forgot, I don't have the... Do you have the stats for that?
No, I don't.
Gotta go ping our Blades daddy. Hop into Discord. What does Lizzie's laser gun do? Question mark. Waiting for the response. Why the fuck do you need to know?
We need it for court.
5, 4, 3, 2. Alright, I'm gonna make a ruling. On a 6, you hit him directly in the shoulder, and you put a hole right through his arm that you can see clean through, cauterizing the wound on the inside. He falls to the ground, clutching at the wound in pain, swearing, spitting. That's it. I'll have your head for that. I'll have your soul for that. What do you do?
You can have as much as you want, but Benny's still not going to end up in jail. And then I run for the courtroom to get Sterling.
Okay.
Oh, I see how it is. You pick a fight with someone bigger than you, and then you immediately run to your big sibling.
Yep.
As you should.
Jesus. All right, now we're back in the courtroom. Okay, JG, you're wrapping up your big presentation to the judge and to the court at large. How do you finish?
You know what it is? And I think at some point in this whole thing, I go over financial projections of if Vinny's convicted or not, and I make it look like it'll be bad for the company's finances. And then I go with my whole Matlock spiel.
Give me a sway with a bonus dice. So 3 dice.
Okay, you're not going to believe this. I got a 4, a 5, and a 6.
Yahtzee. All right, on a 6. Everyone in the courtroom stands up and starts applauding. It's like the end of a movie where someone just starts the slow clap, and then pretty soon everyone's
like
just
Legally Blonde.
Exactly. You get a notification on your wrist that you just received 400 gift subs from someone in the courtroom.
Thank you, subscribers, for the gift subs.
That's when Judge Morgan starts banging, boom, 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 banging on the hammer, banging his gavel on the desk. Order! I'll have order in my courtroom. And just as he's about to stand up and reprimand everyone, the bailiff comes out from his chambers and stands up and whispers something into his ear. He sits back down. His face looks somewhat sunken and sullen. Like he looks kind of sad that he's doing what he's about to do. Based on the evidence that's been presented today and based on the outstanding presentation by Miss J.G. Wentworth, I'm going to have to say that all charges against Benjamin Franks have been withdrawn. He is an innocent man and he is free to go. However, he's going to be remitted into the custody of Lantern Corporation. Specifically that Messieurs Procter and Gamble.
Objection? Why?
I'm sorry, who are you? Who are you, sir?
Oh, me?
Who are you?
Sterling stood up so fast their chair fell over, but now they're like, oh, shit.
Yes, your name, counsel.
I'm part of the legal team. And I'd like to know why Lantern Corp?
Again, I'd like to know your name first and foremost.
Elliot Stabler.
Well, Elliot Stabler, Lantern Corps has agreed to pay the bond and restitution on behalf of Mr. Franks, on condition that he is released into their custody, and if he is to go ahead and break that bond, they are free to do as they please. Unless you can come up with enough coin to surpass their bond, I would suggest staying out of this.
I glance to the door, hoping that Doc chooses this moment to come in. How many coins? That's probably fine, but I should just, I might have to move some numbers around.
It's close to 500,000 coin.
500,000 coin. Is that all? I look pleadingly at Max and then wonder where Lizzie is.
The door kicks open. Lizzie has come back into the courtroom, making a very loud to-do about herself.
And yelling for Sterling to help.
Oh, thank fuck. Yes, I sprint over. What is happening?
I might have shot one of the vampires.
You might have, but no one can prove it. And so we're not going to say that out loud in here.
So what happened with Benny?
Oh boy.
Everyone in the courtroom turns away from looking at the judge and looks at the two of you.
Are you being pursued? I'm looking towards the door. Is he coming in?
Benny stands up from his chair and says, I'll go.
No.
I'll go. Don't worry about me.
No.
I'll go. Yes.
We need you as much as any of us others.
For the love I hold in my heart, for once, listen to me. I'm going. Gamble, let's get out of here. Someone let these cuffs off me? I'm ready to go now. Someone. The judge gets off his stand, heads back to his chambers. The bailiffs come over and uncuff Benny and direct him over towards where Mr. Gamble is sitting.
We can do the coin. Can we set up a financing plan? We'll pay interest or whatever.
Gamble gets up and walks over to the group of you. Don't you understand? This is how it works in paradise. Even when you win, you lose.
We're going to see him again.
There's an appeals process.
He takes Betty by the arm.
Mr. Gamble.
What?
May I approach my employer and my friend one last time before I never get to see him again?
Anything for you, Joseph.
Oh. Name's Maximilian, but, okay. Benny, you don't have to go. You don't have to go.
I was foolish to try to make a life apart from Lantern Corps. I was foolish to try and do something to make the city a better place.
You still can, my friend. You still can.
It's not my job anymore, Mac.
No, it's mine.
I don't have it in me to do it. You might have it in you to do it. Literally and figuratively, you might have it in you to do it, but I don't. Goodbye, Max.
So Max is going to do a flashback.
Go for it.
He has written a note and has a vial of his own blood. And the note says, I'm you. Trust me. This is for both of us. You'll know what to do.
1 stress for that. That's a very simple thing to do.
Max pulls out the note and he's like, look, we have a mutual friend. And he gave me this.
Max, what are you doing?
You just hear an audible cork pop. And if I may, roll to attack a certain someone who's standing nearby.
You may do so, yes. Holy fuck.
Bad nights take off, Paul. Bad nights take off.
Can I take a stress by pulling on Benny the other way? Away from Gamble?
Okay, I'm just distract Procter & Gamble by trying to get them to buy my legal services.
Procter has not returned. Just Gamble is there. Give me a sway roll. Or a consort roll. Sway or consort.
Yeah, I'm going to distract. I mean, I just had this great victory, and these people have a coin. They might need my business. They might need me, my representation. And I'm going to be pushing about it. You all wish these dice well for me.
Come on, dice.
6 and 5.
Gamble turns over to you. He goes, Johnson, can you get your employee under control? Come on, we've got business to attend to. And he goes to grab, he turns his attention away from Max and goes to grab Benny's arm and pull him away. And Max is going to give me a very important skirmish roll.
Okay, do I get a plus?
You do get a plus from the distraction, so you're rolling +1 already. You can take a 2 stress to push yourself if you would like.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I am going to do the 2 stress, so that gives me, 3 total stress now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna take that 6.
Okay.
So as there's a little bit of a kerfuffle, Max, in his deranged lunacy and madmanness, he sticks the vial to his lips and just pours the vial into his mouth and spins around and, like a fire eater, blows it out in the finest red mist his old man lips can do, right at Gamble.
And that's where we'll end our episode. Janie, I want to thank you for coming in and joining us for the absolute ludicrousness that is Blades in Paradise. Follow Janie on all of her socials. They'll be in the show notes, and you can catch up on what she's up to next there. And for now, this has been Blades in Paradise.
Chaos reigns!
Bye. Blades in Paradise is Paul Kinter as Master of Ceremonies, Justin Langston as Maximilian Graves, Queenie as Lizzie Calhoun, Amel Riley as Sterling Ackred, and myself, Jim Remis, as Dr. Winston Thoreau. Special thanks to Janie Potts for joining us this week as J.G. Wentworth. Dami is our editor, and Allison is our producer. You can directly support this show at patreon.com/bardrockcafe, starting at just $3 a month. We've just updated our Patreon rewards, so now is a perfect time to subscribe. Subscribers can join us on Discord, can come play games with us, and receive access to ad-free episodes and an ever-growing library of bonus content. You can support the podcast for free by sharing us on social media, by word of mouth, or by rating and subscribing on your favorite podcatcher. Lastly, you support us just by listening. Thank you for listening, dear friend.